Welcome to the Boaz Kitchen. My name's Sally and we're usually cooking up a storm with the members in the Boaz Kitchen. Today we've got to remember what are the 3 things that we have to do when we come in. I've put my apron on, I've washed my hands and I've cleaned the surfaces with antibacterial spray and we're ready to go. And this is what we're going to make today. We're going to make some sweet potato fritters, and we need a medium-sized sweet potato. I've got 2 small ones, 3 carrots, 3 spring onions, some chilies, a big clove of garlic, some cumin seeds, some coriander leaf, some plain flour, 3 eggs, and a spray of oil, or ordinary oil can be used. Before we start, we need to heat the oven up because it's a hot oven and it needs time to get to temperature. So we want to turn the oven on to 200 degrees or gas mark 7. The first thing we need to do is grate the sweet potato. And we're going to grate the carrots as well. So you just got to watch your fingers. And as you grate them, you can start putting them into the bowl. We're going to cut up the spring onions nice and small, and they'll give a bit of a tang to the fritters. Stop doing that, and they can go into the bowl with the carrots and the sweet potatoes. Chopping up the garlic and the chilies as well, nice and small. You can use flaked dry chilies if you don't want to use fresh chilies. Chopped up the chilies into here. When you're chopping up chilies, don't touch your eyes with your hands until you've really washed your hands well, otherwise they'll sting. Then we add a tablespoon of cumin seeds. And a tablespoon of coriander, dried coriander. It's nicer to have fresh, chopped fresh, but if you haven't got it, use those. Give it a good stir to mix it all up together. I'm ready to crack the eggs. And of course, they're Boaz eggs. Just check that there's not any shell on the side. And then whisk them with a fork. And then that goes into the mixture. With 3 tablespoons of plain flour. If you're gluten free, you can use gram flour as well. And then we mix this all up together. it's still looking very wet, you can add a bit more flour to make it bind together a bit. I'm going to put another 2 in. You want it all to look the same, so you can't see any white bits of flour. A lot of fritters are made in a frying pan and fried, but these are made in the oven, which is safer because you haven't got hot oil to worry about. It's also better for you because you haven't got more oil added to the fritter, so it's healthier for you, and it's a nice way of doing it, and you can make sure they're nice and crispy as well. So with 2 spoons, you're just going to make little circles. Push them together a bit to give some content. Oops. Very sticky. Another one. So give them a bit of space so that they don't stick together. You can probably get about 8 on this sheet. You usually get about 8 on a tray this size, and before they go in, just give them a spray with the oil. If you haven't got an oil spray, use a oil brush, a brush on dipped in a little tub of oil. You need to cook them for 20 minutes and maybe 25. Until they're nice and crisp and golden. While your fritters are cooking, you might want to be thinking about what you want to serve it with. You could serve it with tomato ketchup or one of your favourite sauces, or you could make a tzatziki dressing, which is really yogurt with cucumber and mint in and seasoning. So you need a few spoonfuls of yogurt. I'm going to put 4 in. Depends on how many fritters you're going to eat at once. So you can use fresh mint from the garden, much better. It smells lovely. And you need to wash it first, and then you can pull it off the stalks. You don't want the stalks, they're a bit thick. And we're just going to chop it up as small as possible, but mind your fingers. Right, so this is the mint already chopped up, so that goes in with the yogurt. We'll stir it up in a minute. I'm going to grate the cucumber next. This gets a bit sticky because it gets very wet. It's very juicy. This needs to sit in the sieve for a bit, just to drain a bit. Otherwise it will make the yogurt go very watery. Quite a lot of water come out there, you can see. into there. Give it a good stir, and then you can add salt and pepper and perhaps a little bit of paprika just to add to taste. And we're going to put some pepper and some salt, not too much. Give it a good stir. And the best bit, we could try it and taste it and see if it's all right. I think that's all right, because the fritters will be a bit spicy with the chilies in, so you don't want anything too hot with them. So that's ready to go. Getting ready to take the fritters out of the oven, we need to have something to put the hot trays on. So we've got either a folded tea towel, a trivet, or a cooling rack. And you also need your oven gloves. So I've got my oven gloves ready. Take the glasses off, so I've steamed up. Put them onto here. We just want to check that it looks nice and crisp on the top, but it might be a bit soggy on the bottom. So we'll turn them over, and they're not as nice and crispy on the bottom. So we're going to turn them all over and then spray their bottoms as well. It smells nice. I can smell the cumin coming through. So here's the spray. It's just a little bit of oil misted on to help it cook. And we'll use the oven gloves again. Put them out to back in the oven for the rest of the time. "20 minutes has gone by now, so we're going to look in the oven and see if they're ready. Here we are. They look nice and crisp and dry on the top, which was the soggy bottoms have gone. These are ready to eat now. They'll be lovely, I hope. Let's put them out on a plate carefully. And you can serve them up with a spoonful of tzatziki as well. I'm going to try one. Just dip that in there. They're nice and slightly spicy. Nice and crisp on the outside. Started eating this one as well. Got to finish it.